There are a ton of SpongeBob episodes that many people seem to like, but some of them I really don't care for. Today I'll be talking about some seasons 1 to 3 episodes that people usually have no problem with, but I'll be explaining why they're not my personal cup of tea. With that being said, let's get on to the SpongeBob episodes people like that I don't. Squeaky Boots is one of those storylines that people don't put on their top SpongeBob episodes of all time, but being that it's in the first 3 seasons, most people do enjoy it. Most of the times I watch Squeaky Boots, it's not that I completely hated everything about it because it did have some of that classic SpongeBob humor, but the overall premise still bothers me. In this episode, SpongeBob buys boots from Mr. Krabs, which causes an annoying squeaky sound. That is the entire plot, and we constantly hear the annoying sound, so right away that could get repetitive. I know it's the point of the episode to sound annoying, but it should still be entertaining at the same time, and for me it wasn't. One of the worst parts about Squeaky Boots was when Mr. Krabs shrank the boots and then ate them. I'm not sure why exactly that sort of stuff was happening, but it wasn't too funny. Overall, I think the biggest reason Squeaky Boots wasn't top SpongeBob quality is because it was one of the very first few episodes of the show. Season 1 had many misses because the crew was trying to find their footing in comedy, so it made sense that not every episode was good. Squeaky Boots in particular is one of those storylines where I really don't want to go back and rewatch it because it's just not worth it.
I heard his order, Mr. Krabs. He said he was... And,
Moving on to another season 1 SpongeBob episode, let's talk about Jellyfishing. It's the 3rd episode of the entire show, and it's where SpongeBob and Patrick take Squidward jellyfishing. Don't get me wrong, this isn't the worst episode SpongeBob has to offer, but it's another one of those that I don't really like when compared to all the others. One big reason this episode was bad is because it was the first real instance of Squidward torture. If you're a fan of SpongeBob, you know that Squidward goes through a ton of bad stuff that only exists to hurt him, which doesn't provide for very good entertainment. This problem wasn't seen as much in the earlier seasons, but Jellyfishing still had a decent amount of it. Most of the episode was just Squidward getting hurt, then the audience is supposed to laugh. There were definitely good jokes like every other early era episode, but this still isn't very entertaining, and I rewatched it recently, but it was just sort of an old storyline that exists. Nothing extremely memorable. Although I should probably mention that this is the first time Jellyfishing appeared on the show, so it was important in that way. Still, being that it was the 3rd SpongeBob episode and concepts were still being introduced, it's no surprise that this didn't turn out as well as it could have been. People probably don't think of that Jellyfishing episode as being incredible, but it's praised and quoted all the time. This is another one I don't like to rewatch too much, and I'd rather choose something from season 2 or 3.
Firmly grasp it in your hand. Firmly grasp it. Firmly grasp it. That ought to do it.
Finally, let's talk about, you guessed it, another SpongeBob Season 1 episode that I dislike. It's called The Paper. In this episode, SpongeBob plays with a bubblegum wrapper and Squidward wants to have it. So yeah, that's a pretty simple plot, but this basic stuff can still do well if done creatively. Honestly, there were some awesome parts about The Paper that probably weren't what the viewer expected, but still, this is one of the most forgettable early era SpongeBob episodes. The plot was kinda boring since the only thing involved was paper, so that's why I'm calling this one of those unlikable episodes from the early seasons. Hopefully I'm not the only one who calls this extremely forgettable, but it's just a storyline I wasn't too interested in. I'll give them props for trying something new, and maybe it was entertaining to some of you guys, but I just can't recommend it to any new watchers of SpongeBob. It's not memorable, kinda boring, and it has less of the classic comedy that SpongeBob is well known for. But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give it a thumbs up and comment below to let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.